Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm back on my BS again. I am trying to sell some books, trade some books, to try to upgrade my collection, get some new books. So what you're seeing are my books that I will be bringing to trade. So I'm going to Big Lit Comic Con, but on the way there, I'm going to several different shops the day before to try to make some moves and see some cool comic shops. Little did I know, I was in for quite an adventure that led to many ups and downs and really gave me some PTSD just looking back at this footage. So I'm on the road. I'm driving to beautiful Roanoke, Virginia. I'm from West Virginia, and there's like a weird thing between Virginians and West Virginians. We're the best Virginia, no offense, but this is the first place I went to. This was on the way there. This is in Princeton, West Virginia. This was recommended to me by a friend of the channel. This is Daydream Games, and the owner of this shop, his name is Dan. Super nice guy, and I believe that's his wife, Deidre. Very, very nice people. So they had some comic books, but this is predominantly a gaming store. So I'm taking a look here at some of their books they have here at the front. The first thing I always ask is, do you have any big keys? Do you have wall book type stuff? And his response was kind of like off-putting at first, because it was like, well, you have to look. And I was like, okay, all right, I get it. You don't want to do my work for me. I appreciate that. But at the same time, there were not a whole lot of keys to be found in here. Super nice shop. This is me with my backpack. This is kind of my thing. You guys have seen this before. He was super interested in this Green Lantern number 40. And who wouldn't be, right? Nice book, high grade. He had a lot of high-end Magic cards, and if you guys are a friend of the channel, you know my content. I do like me some Magic the Gathering, so we'll get back to these cards here in just a minute. But let's look here at some of their other books they had. So a lot of DC Rebirth stuff, Archie, just dollar book fodder. And just kind of getting to know Dan and kind of talking to Dan, he didn't really have a lot of experience with comic books and didn't seem like he wanted that to be a large part of his business. And it was pretty obvious. There was major pricing issues on these books, and you guys seeing these books, these are dollar books. And there might be a needle in a haystack here, but these are books that are $1 to $2 books. And I kind of explained that to Dan, and actually he was kind of willing to listen to my recommendations. I did find this newsstand, X-Men Adventures #1. Remember when this book was hot? Yeah, I remember too. It was hot for like a week. I can't remember. I think he had $8 on that. Had a big chunk out of the back of it. That book was like a $50 book for like 2 or 3 days. More X Factor reprints. I think there was a Kanan Padawan book, but it was like priced at $20 or something. Some more 90s stuff. If you were looking for good dollar books, there's some Ultimate Spider-Man. There's some decent Star Wars stuff here. Some Dr. Aphra. I kind of double taked some of that. But it's not, this is not where you're finding the big keys. He had an entirely other section of comic books that were just kind of pushed to the back. Apparently he had somebody that was organizing them for him. And then all of these shelves that you see under here, this like big brown shelving unit, like all below that was all full of short boxes. So I do end up digging through some of this stuff. But he brings out a box here in just a minute with some pretty decent stuff in it. More just 90s, 2000 stuff. And in this black box, there's some pretty decent little books in here. So he's got some Star Wars Darth Vader. And then I start seeing these Werewolf by Night. And I start seeing like Werewolf by Night number 30, number 15. Like that's first Werewolf by Night meets Dracula. Now this is low grade stuff. Wonder Man #1. Or not number one, but I think that's Wonder Man's first solo series. And then some, of course, X-Men #1 in every great collection. An older Swamp Thing book, which was kind of nice, but overpriced. More Werewolf by Night. I already have a lot of these copies, so I'm really not in the market for getting those, and especially not at the prices they were marked. I mean, these were like marked as like $15, $20 books. But he did have those nice Star Wars Darth Vader books, and I mean, everything was there. Werewolf by Night 32 and 33 were not there, of course. Somebody had already got in there and poached those, but I legitimately thought that they would be in there for a minute. I literally had hope. But I think here at the end there's a pretty big Star Wars Darth Vader key. I think, what was it, first Grand Inquisitor or whatever, the girl from the new Obi-Wan show. I think he was wanting like $80 for that or something. And then I found this little Deadpool versus Punisher miniseries, which I thought was kind of cool. They're not keys, and they were not in great condition. He's looking at this Green Lantern. He's talking to me about it. I'm talking to him about price. I'm wanting $250 for the book, which I think is very, very reasonable. As you can see, I'm not finding a whole lot of gems in anything. And man, I spent some time in there. I don't know how much time I spent in there, but I spent a good bit of time digging through this stuff. And I'm sure there's some pretty decent books in there. But what I end up doing is I end up trading for some Magic cards. So I don't know if you guys know anything about Magic the Gathering, but these are like mythic rares, which means they're, very, very rare. Murktide Regent, Crucible of Worlds, Force of Will, Imperial Seal, Urza. All of these cards are like awesome cards. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this video. This is Basement Toys and Comics in Salem, Virginia. I get kicked out of this shop. I've never been kicked out of a comic shop before. There is a sign on the door that says no book bags allowed. So that's what you see me stop. This guy looks back at me. I say, hey, can I come in here with this backpack? We meet just a gem of a comic book shop owner here, man. Mr. Man Bun himself. I'm going to have to slow this down so you get a good look at my dude right here. Look at his face change as soon as I walk up to the counter. He flips a switch. He judges me. He doesn't like me as soon as I walk through the door. Oh, he's mad. He don't like slabs. He's old school, man. He does not like what I'm bringing to the table. If you take a look here at the rafters, you can see all his key comics. Do you notice how hard and difficult it is to even see or reach or attempt to even look at any of these books? This is me asking about one of the books, grade condition, and you can see his attempt at telling me about the book. This is exactly how you do not run a comic shop. I see a Spider-Gwen, first appearance of Spider-Gwen up there. I say, hey, how much is that? He wants $500 for that raw copy of first Spider-Gwen. And it was just like comical. Like I was like, is it like a 9.8 caliber book? And he's like, oh yeah, it's high grade. And I'm like, are you going to get it down? Or are you going to leave it up there? It was like, there were signs everywhere in the store. Do not touch. Do not look. Do not breathe. This man's shop is open from like 12 to 4, like 3 or 4 days a week. It's exclusive, invite only type place. Well, stuff popped off. I made kind of a faux pas, as you would say, of talking to a gentleman next to me about doing some business together. The owner of the shop says, you can get out of my store right now. We're not doing that here. I said, you got to be kidding me. He said, you can get out of here. I spent 25 years building this business. You can get out of here. I left a nice little review on his shop, and this is what his statements are. He calls me Strap-On. So you can refer to me now as Strap-On Sticky Goose from now on. That is my name. This is Collector's Lair in Roanoke. This is the second shop I get kicked out of in a matter of 1 hour. If you're feeling anxiety as soon as you walk into this dump, you are not alone. I felt claustrophobic. I felt suffocated as soon as I went into this place. All the while, if you look to the right of your screen there's a little Vizio screen playing praise and worship music, like "My Savior loves, my Savior lives," and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. The person behind the counter here directs me to these classic books. I don't know if you had got a chance to look at those prices. $180 for that low grade Green Lantern book. This nice young lady behind the counter here, doesn't she just look like a ray of sunshine back there, hiding behind the counter, just willing to help you with any of your collecting needs? Well, she's back there, living in this mess. And right off the bat, I was like, are you the owner? Are you like the person that can do business stuff? And she's apparently the daughter of the owner or something. I'm asking where the key books are, where the good books are. And like I said, there's these 2 short boxes. She says that's where the keys are. And then these ratio variants, she calls them. These ratio variants are priced anywhere from $100 to $200 for dollar books, pretty much. Apparently, there's more comics in the back of this room. Look at this freaking wall. Those are all new Comic Book Day books. All of these long boxes are filled with stock that they obviously couldn't sell, didn't sell. If you want to know how to not run a comic shop, look at this place. I mean, diamond boxes to the rafters. They're almost touching that light in the back of the store. All of this crap. I mean, how is anybody supposed to find anything? How does anybody want to buy anything? Well, it gets better. This lady comes in, this older lady, and she's kind of deaf. She's having trouble hearing the nice young, beautiful lady behind the counter. And she has apparently a huge collection of comic books that are older, she says, and she's wanting to get rid of them. Well, as you can see here in the collector's lair of Roanoke, I don't think they have a lot of room for any new stock. So the nice young lady behind the counter says, she like hums and haws, and she's like, well, not really. Just like not interested in the collection. So my ears perk up. And you can probably see where this is going. While the nice young lady is evaluating my books for purchase, I go out into the parking lot, talk to the lady that's hard of hearing, and I say, ma'am, I would be potentially interested in buying this comic book collection. This girl busts out of this shop like the freaking Kool-Aid man. Says, you can't do that here. You can't do that here. And I'm like, what is going on? She says, that's my business. That's my business. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting out of here. I go in there, I get my stuff. She showed no interest in the books. Unreal. I get the hell out of there. This was a nice little shop. I had to get a lunch. I had to get a beer. I had to get a little something to deal with this day. My nerves were shot after all of this mess. So this is B&D Comic Shop. And God bless the guy that was running this place. He had some social skill issues. I'm trying to talk to the guy, and it wasn't easy. It was like he didn't even want me to look at stuff. Like I wanted to see this first Thunderbolts book, and I mean it was like it was like herding cats trying to even get that. It was a nice shop. I mean, they had a lot of stuff, a lot of back issues. I kind of got excited because there was some DC Strange Adventures book, and I was hoping to find the first appearance of Animal Man. I'm looking for that book, but alas, it wasn't there. They had a lot of like good trade paperbacks and newer stuff, good stuff for reading. It was a very well organized shop, great presentation, very easy to to shop there, and especially going from the dump that I was in like 30 minutes or an hour before this. I mean, this was a breath of fresh air to come into like a legitimate comic book shop and actually, be able to look at things, see things. They didn't have anything for me there, really. They did have some nice books, but it was, if you guys follow the channel, you guys know what I'm doing. I'm trying to get out of a lot of my single issue comics to buy higher end books, big time keys, and put my money into like omnibus and things that I'm gonna read. That's kind of what I'm transitioning to. That's what I get most enjoyment out of from comic books in general. I don't get enjoyment from having long boxes stacked on top of each other in my closet where I don't even know what I have. That doesn't give me enjoyment and fulfillment. What I have, knowing I have something that's important, something that's valuable, something that's gonna stand the test of time, I would have one of those over 1,000 comic books. And honestly, I would prefer to if I could choose like a collection of omnibus or this whole comic shop, I would choose a collection of omnibus because it would be infinite reading. So I didn't buy any comics. I bought 6 Magic cards. I didn't buy them. I traded for them. I said, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna go look at bicycles. I need a new road bike. I went to the Trek dealership. Awesome Trek shop. I bought a new Trek carbon road bike. This thing is a monster. It's a beast. To end the night, I go to this awesome Magic the Gathering store. It's called Blade Gaming in Roanoke. This place was awesome. I actually end up winning the tournament. We did a draft of the new set, Phyrexia All Will Be One. I end up winning the draft, went undefeated 3-0. And man, talk about a ups and downs roller coaster of a day. Getting kicked out of 2 comic shops to buying a new road bike and winning a Magic the Gathering tournament in the evening. I mean, it was just what a roller coaster of a day. I'm if you guys can't tell by my voice, like I'm all hot and heated, just even reliving all this. Part of me didn't even want to make this video, to be honest, but alas, we made the video. This is my playmat that I won from my store championship. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If at any point in time you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like this video, subscribe for more. Take care.